So this is session 4 of 4. This is Masks: A New Generation. This is a young superheroes game from Magpie Games. It is powered by the Apocalypse. The designer, Brendan Conway, has cited Young Avengers and Young Justice as his touchstones, and I think those are really good starting points for it. It's something I actually have to run next week at Gen Con. So that's why I ran it this month, was to get some practice time in. So we will see how well that has worked. We're on the 4th session. We stopped last time after the group took on a gang of supervillains, and there were complex plots that were kind of happening in the background. We'll come back to that. We ended with some mechanical stuff, the end of session moves. I want to talk about, if people have gotten advances, what they want to take for those advances. I also want to mention that I definitely want to try and stop. We're stopped like 15 minutes before the end time, because I would like to talk about things you liked, things you would have liked to have seen more of, that kind of, ended sort of decompressed there. If we're running up and we get towards that last half hour, you may see me hard frame more just to get us to a place. So just wanted to give you a heads up on that. I keep a pretty close eye on time. Whippet, you got an advance last time, right?
Right.
What are you thinking?
Well, given that she got into so much trouble because she didn't notice, she didn't anticipate the nano sludge attack that kind of threw her out of the entire fight last session, I think I'm going to take the be mindful of your surroundings protege move.
Ooh, what does that do?
Well, basically, even if I fail, even if she fails, before entering, when I assess the situation before entering a fight, I get to ask an additional question, even on a miss.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's a nice one. I like information gathering things.
Yeah, that would have been helpful last time. So that is what she's taking, and now I'm taking my potential back down to 0.
Did anyone else get an advance last time?
I took one 2 sessions ago that I don't think I told anyone about.
Oh.
But I mean, I mentioned that I was going to, and I never said what it was. So it was, changed. I was able to arrange my labels however I like and take +1.
Oh, okay, that's right. Nice.
Oh yeah, so I did that.
Okay. And Minotaur is very close. So all we need is one failed roll, and place then.
I'm sure I can accommodate that.
So last time the group was chasing down one of these 2 escaped murder bots. Determined that there was certainly some connection between these murder bots and Offering's own home world technology. The group split with hashtag going to scout out sort of the tech industrial area, and you going down to the docks. You were able to trace it back in various ways and get to the location, and there was some scouting done, and I assume, much like hashtag's failure, a Whippet stepped into it and got attacked and was caught off balance. The group came in. There was a fight. The building was brought down. The bad guys fled. The villains fled. The murder bot woke up. You were able to essentially put the murder bot out of commission, but you did bring a building down in the meantime. Bless you. And we ended the session with my sort of teaser tag about hashtags texting going offline, which, given that she's a techno kinetic, and means that she's clearly gotten taken out in some way, shape, or form, or neutralized or captured. So let me ask what everybody's headspace is right now. So Avada, what is going on in your mind? You muted.
Oh my god, yeah, I realized that, and then like it pops up and it's like, you're muted. That's really cool. There's the 1-2 punch of oh, I guess I really am better than her, and then, oh no, she really is in trouble.
I like that. I like that. Offering, what about you?
So I think that I'm also like, I don't have a 1-2 punch. There's just like these two kind of like simultaneous pulls. On the one hand, there's the, I'm just here to help. She got hurt in our mess. It's our job to clean it up. And also like a part of me that's like feeling very defeated and like, I can't do this again. Let's go. Let's run and hide. The part of me that runs away because one of these days I'm not going to be able to run away anymore. So let's keep running as fast as I can.
I like it. I like it. And Minotaur, what about you?
I think I feel pretty pumped. Like I was kicking some ass
Yeah.
in that last fight. So I feel like good and confident about that. But I also have like Rampage's offer in the back of my mind, and I'm kind of like eyeing. I think I think Avada has the kill the murder bot's head.
Yes.
No, we put it in the base. Like,
oh, it's in the base
I
now?
posted
Okay.
it right up there as a trophy.
Okay. So I've got that in the back of my mind anyway. Like I'm wondering, like, I don't know anything about tech, but I'm like, maybe the programming that Rampage wants to download, like maybe that's in the murder bot. I can pass it off as a door bot, and
hopefully it's
still
in that
make the
head.
deal.
The rest of the body is gone. So
right. Hopefully it's there.
And let's come to Whippet. Whippet, in the face of what happened last time, what's going on in your head?
Well, she's really angry at herself for being completely useless and helpless in the fight, and also for her being the one who got busted in the first place. Especially since she's the putative leader of the group.
Okay.
She's feeling very insecure. She's also starting to feel a little bit of that, this maybe the same kind of perhaps fear that her mentor, Glowstick, feels towards superpowered freaks, quote unquote. Given how so many, how helpless she was before, in the wake of these robots and metahumans just throwing around in the docks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, she's definitely still suffering from the angry and insecure tags, and she's not feeling very good. She's questioning her place on the team and whether she's whether she deserves to have a place here or what she's even doing here.
And to remind people about the mechanics that Masks has for clearing conditions, one is the comfort and support action, but there's also a team move that you can do to give influence and add one team to the pool. That's another way to kind of back up the connections. But if each one of these moves has a means to clear it, like angry is hurt someone, break something, and of course insecure is foolhardy action. So those are all sort of important mechanics to keep in mind. At the start of the session, I put a team in the team pool. So let's come back in, and the question that I have is, Whippet, do you answer your mom's call?
I guess there's no immediate danger or anything else that needs to be done here, right? I mean, there's no chance of pursuing the rest of the evils. I take it.
No. The lead you have is the other location, and the fact that hashtag has gotten captured.
Oh, right. We gotta check that out.
So of course there obviously your superheroes, you could figure out a way to trace these other villains, and of course you did go on this mission explicitly against your mother's orders.
Right. Well,
so the question stands.
Sure. I'm gonna say no for now, because we should at least try to get to hashtag as quickly as possible. Maybe
so do we see you reject the call or just not answer?
I'm not answering.
Okay, just let it go through. So how does the group proceed? Do you roll into the danger van and take off, or are there any other things you're doing before that? What do you think? I'll ask the leader, and then I'm going to check what other people what they're doing.
Not feeling super leaderly at the moment. I guess she'll give a tentative. I guess we need to get to hashtag's location.
Who drives? Is it normally you, or does somebody else drive, or is that kind of a rotated thing?
I think it'll be me. It's my vehicle, so I imagine I'd always be behind the driver's seat.
Okay. So I assume you a little, hesitantly move towards the van. The police are coming. You know that there'll probably be adult supers here soon enough, given the throwdown. So are you trying to make your way out of here before local attention?
Yeah, well, I'd like to. Also, it's conveniently the case that time is of the essence as far as like whatever could be happening to hashtag at this moment.
Sure. Now, Vada, you did broadcast a little from the site, right?
Yeah, at the very end.
Okay.
I think. Just to kind of show off.
All right. So you can head over, driving through the streets. We're late in the evening. You're all packed in this danger van, which we described as kind of tight for all of you in there, especially with all the equipment and such. Driving along through the streets. Is there anything you want to do on the way over? People you want to call, conversations you want to have on the drive, as we get that inset shot of the four of you in the vehicle?
Can I say? I want to say something in the Minotaur. And I'm happy for everyone else to hear it. Like this is not like a under the breath sort of quiet conversation. I just want to, Tor.
Yeah, what's up?
I owe you just a big apology. I screwed up back at base and was just a huge asshole, and that's on me. And I don't want to let you pulled our asses out of the fire, literally, and the water. Back there, and I'm sorry, and I owe you one. I wanted you to know that.
I mean, yeah, I really appreciate you saying that. But I mean, to be honest, like back at base, I was getting in the way, like that's like, it was tech stuff, right? You were doing something with tech. And I was trying to help out and you kind of slapped my hand, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, I mean, like, that's not really my forte. Back over in the fight, that's more of what I'm good at. Maybe a little too good. They don't make buildings like they used to, But anyway, I do appreciate you. I appreciate what you're saying, and I give you like a nice. It's supposed to be like kind of like a tender pat in the back, but it probably like knocks you forward a little bit. My version of a tender pat.
Right.
So, do you think that's let me ask you this? I can see this a couple of ways. One, depending on how offering feels, is it a sacrifice to admit guilt for sacrifice to open up?
No, I don't think that was hard for him. For me, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't like the hardest thing in the world. And I think there's like this big drive to like do the right thing, and I think that the way like Minotaur was very kind, and the way he kind of brushed it off, makes me think that there's maybe like I still feel guilty. Like I don't think I did enough to sort of not to erase that condition.
Do you think the exchange
Right.
Minotaur rises to the level of comfort and support in terms of how you responded back, or what do you think of that?
I mean, I would accept that if Minotaur is willing to make that role. Right? He's the one who's sort of like supporting me in my guilt, so that's.
Yeah, I didn't want him to feel badly about the earlier incident at the base. Like,
Okay. The Minotaur.
So yeah, I think that's comfort.
Why don't you roll your mundane?
Right. Oh, I should have done that differently. Okay. That's this may not come off as very comforting. I got a 7, but I got a -2, so that knocks me down to a 5.
So the good news is you get to mark potential.
Yeah.
That puts you over the top, right?
It puts me right at the, I got 5 potential, I think.
The bad news is we'll see an inset scene as you are driving, and we see an inset scene that says elsewhere, and we see Dorabot watching TV and kind of watching the television, and the shadow kind of falls over him, and he's like, "Oh, you guys are bet," and looks up and goes, "You're not," and we cut away from that.
Oops.
So you four are driving and following that sensor that you have. You're probably riding shotgun, I assume, Avada, because you've got to control this thing. Are you focused on this, or are you also taping it for your audience as well?
I think at first she was like checking Twitter, and then was like, you know what? If she is dead, I don't want to be implicated, so I'll go see what happens first.
Wow.
Look, she thought the world of hashtag a minute ago, and then hashtag is like, yo, I can't even do a simple thing. That's where Avada's at.
Okay. Interesting. So the four of you will roll up into this area. Again, these big sort of technical, industrial, corporate offices here. And you will arrive, if not much traffic around here. And the detector, again, is not hugely specific, but you will definitively be able to place that signal as coming from the Rook Technologies building. They're a major corporation here in Halcyon City. They work in all kinds of speculative tech and so on. They're essentially a little bit like Star Labs or something of that sort. And it definitely looks like the signal is coming from inside that building. So how would the team proceed?
All right, guys, what should we do now?
Explosions? Wait, hang on. There might be civilians. Controlled explosions.
What do you want to blow up?
I mean, what don't I want to blow up? But okay, I guess.
Okay, where did you last see hashtag? Where was our transmission cut off?
It's coming from here. It looks like I'm checking the thing, and it's literally pointing, "Hey, here you are," or "Here's hashtag." I guess is what it's saying.
Well, it's saying, "Here's the other murder bot," is what it's saying.
Oh, crap! I don't remember. I don't actually have a GPS for hashtag then.
That is correct.
Yeah, no. I got nothing. Just the murder bot.
Yeah, but wasn't she on her feed or something?
She was essentially texting to you when she was cut off. She was here in this area looking into the situation. This was the other site for the murder bots.
So the way I see it, we don't have a location for hashtag, but we do for the murder bot number 2. So I think I know how these things work out, and if we do nothing, we can go home.
As you're talking, the murder bot signal goes out.
So I've got good news and bad news. What do you want first?
News. Just give us news, Avada.
Well, it looks like we won't have to deal with the murder bot, but we also don't know where the murder bot is now, if it is active. So
we have to deal with the thing that dealt with the murder bot? That doesn't sound.
I mean,
Can I go ahead and scan the vicinity with my helmet?
Sure, absolutely. You've got the high-tech sensors in the van in your helmet.
Yeah.
So this sounds like an assess the situation.
Sure.
So go ahead and roll superior.
Okay, that's 7 plus 2. I've got a 9.
Okay. So you the new move that you take, does it give you an additional question?
Yes.
Okay. So you get 1 from the list and that additional question.
Okay. And I assume that's an additional question from the list.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's say what here is the biggest threat?
So you're scanning around these buildings. And of course, a lot of these are labs. So you're getting all kinds of weird signals, mu radiation and all kinds of backsheet quantum particulates in the area and all of that kind of stuff. But certainly from Rook Industries, which seems to be, it's after hours, there are probably some lab projects that are running. But up on the top floor, the 5th floor, sort of towards the middle of the building, you're getting just a really weird set of energy signatures. Like something is open and active, and it feels particularly powerful.
And where was that again? Was that on the
It's sort of the 5th floor of Rook Industries, sort of towards the middle of the building. You guess it must be like a keystone lab for the facility.
Okay, I'll point out the location to everyone, that there's energy signals coming from there. And then, second question.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, what the hell? How can we best? I don't know if this is going to be the best question for what we know right now, but how can we best end this quickly?
Well, certainly going up onto the roof, there's probably some venting and access ways. So if you want to get in to deal with this situation, that's probably the quickest way.
As opposed to just crashing through the 5th floor windows?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I would, and let me give you the sort of the info is you can probably, because you've been trained in this, you can probably read what the security field is like on the roof. Like
Okay.
you can pull up the lasers and schematics and things like that. Your mom, your mentor has trained you to do these kinds of things, and you can pull that up. And again, that'll give you a +1 forward when acting on those answers.
And is that something I can beam on like a hologram for everyone else to see, or is that just strictly internal?
Oh yeah. Tell me what that's like. What's that look
sure.
like?
Well, I guess just some of the 2 of the little glowing eyes on my helmet will just shoot out the hologram showing the schematics of the building, the downloaded work building, and then I'll also have it see a traced approach vector and guiding through the with the path laid out throughout the vents just to get to the 5th floor where the energy signal location is.
Perfect.
And whoever is capable of following can follow. Tar, would Tar's best approach would be to crash through the 5th floor window? I don't think he's squeezing. He's not squeezing through any air vents.
Do you have any tools
point.
to get him up to the roof?
Him up the roof? I don't think so. I've got my whips for myself, but I don't know. If, can you take a flying leap, maybe?
Yeah, what do you? How do you define your powers?
5th floor. I don't. Yeah, I don't imagine Tar being able to like jump as high as 5 floors.
Launch you.
Yeah.
How about that?
Oh, if I get
Cannonball
like a
special.
boost of some kind, yeah.
Okay, that sounds like a very interesting approach. I like that. And you have Inhuman Might as one of your abilities, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So, I mean, if you tell me how far he can jump in the fiction, I'm cool with that. Given that superhuman strength, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think on my own power, maybe I could like clear a couple floors. But to get to 5th, I think I'm definitely going to need Avada's or someone else's like assistance.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out like how that might work with Avada. Like,
Well, it would be like a.
so the building is
5 stories tall.
Go ahead.
It would be like you jumping and also like me positioned so as you jump, I like unleash kind of a small like fire blast. The kind of like expand quickly, and you would make it, but your hair would be a little singed, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
Like whenever you land, you would definitely have to like pat out some flames or something.
Offering also has telekinesis.
Right. Like I can.
Oh yeah.
Point. Like, so I don't know. Like lifting a human being all the way to the 5th floor is a lot, but I think between like here's what I'm thinking. Like I'm picturing that I'm kind of like parkouring myself like up through the use of judicious ledges and
your
fire
psychic constructs and stuff.
Fire
too.
escape and psychic constructs. And I think maybe like along the way I'm creating like psychic construct like things for Tar to grab onto. And he's a big strong guy. Like my only fear would be that the building can't support him. But like he can haul himself up, right?
Yeah. That seems like an easy use of the powers you have existing. Doesn't seem like we need to make a roll for that.
And Avada can help him get a little bit of extra boost on the jumps and
the fire boots.
Oh my god.
So let me ask you this, Minotaur, before we move in. Do you want to take your advance?
Yeah, I actually did. Sorry. I just took an additional move, which is coming for you, which reads that when I mark a condition, I can take +1 forward against the person I most blame for causing the condition.
Very nice. Very nice. That is a classic one. So as I understand it, you 4 are going to move up the building with whips and flying and constructs and so on to get up to the roof and make your way through the security system, right?
Yep.
Offering. You are maybe like 2/3 of the way up the building doing this. You've got Minotaur up, kind of has probably hopped up off of one of these psychic constructs and is up on the roof, and you're coming up when you will feel just this enormous pressure in your head, like when a storm rolls in. You know how that feels with the sinuses and so on, and you'll feel that pressure, and there's a feeling like something has rolled in the area. How do you react?
So I think maybe my grip slips for a second, and maybe I drop not into like half a story before I'm able to like recover and like jam a new or just catch myself like telekinetically against like an outcropping, and like I hang there for a second and I just kind of breathe. And do I recognize the feeling, or is it just like a generalized like something's happening? I'm
Yeah, you do recognize it. It's definitely the same feeling you got with some of the portal technology from your homeworld.
Lovely. So as I like, I pause for a second and probably maybe someone sticks their head over the edge, and I climb the rest of the way up, and I say, something big either moved in or out of here, from where I come from Tabernacle. That's probably bad. I'm gonna say they're not, and like the only person here who really knows what that's about is Tara. I'm like, they're not great people. Let's just say it that way.
So these aren't just tourists.
They could be, but tourists from Tabernacle don't usually just want to take pictures and go home. They come back with souvenirs.
That makes sense.
Okay.
So the four of you will get up to the roof. Avada, have you closed down your broadcast stream, or are you still broadcasting?
I'm not broadcasting this.
Okay. All right.
I'm smart enough to know not to broadcast stealth missions. I learned that after like the third time. There was definitely some issues we had. Drone is with me ready, but like can't ever broadcast like the infiltration. The assault, that's different.
So the four of you can make your way over across this building. Whippet can point out the security fields, the sensors. I assume you have devices to take things out, Whippet, right?
Yeah, that would probably, yeah. I've got plenty of gadgetry.
Okay. Describe to me one thing that we see in panel of how you take out a particular security device.
Let's see, how would be a good one? I think let's say there's bound to be some kind of like motion detection sensors, and I've basically got just a vibrational neutralizer, something that kind of sets a vibrational frequency that neutralizes whatever motions we make to remain undetected. Let's say that.
Like a variable white noise generator for your movements. I like that. That's very cool. So the four of you can get over to the center of this building. There are ventings up here. So you've got a couple of choices on how you want to proceed. You could essentially try to stealth in through the access ways here, make your way down, or you could blow the roof open.
I'm assuming this like venting is like much smaller than I am.
I would assume there might be some door access and things like that, but yeah, it'll probably be tighter for you once you get inside. It will present a challenge for you.
All right, I guess we split up.
Can use some psychokinetic grease to make it a little, like, decrease the friction. Slide through some of those tighter spots.
Sure, that'd be unleash your powers to do that, but you could do it.
Oh, you comfortable with that, Tor, or you want to maybe not have the claustrophobia inducing slippy slide?
I mean,
alien butter.
Alien butter.
I'm going to put that out there. There's no material, right? It's just molecule agitation or something.
So you're going to grease me up with your mind and send me down the chute.
Oh, God.
You've described it perfectly, my friend.
What could possibly go wrong? Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
Unleash.
So
with freak, right?
So what you the group is going in for stealth. This will be the stealth roll essentially. It's all based around this.
Fantastic. Rolling with freak. And that's an 11.
Oh, damn.
That's the highest roll I've rolled this entire campaign.
So describe to me what that looks like. What is this psychic field that you're putting around Minotaur? Is it warping the area around him, or is it greasing up, or creating like a frictionless area? How do you imagine that?
So I think that it's actually not something that's super visible, except for when he hits like the tightest spots. I think what happens, like most of the time, he's like going through and he's fine. But sometimes as it narrows, right? Again, if you wanna fill in some blanks here, Tar, please do. But like as it narrows, like he starts to get a little bit stuck, and then I like initiate, like I start, I focus on him, and what sort of happens is I mean, I don't know any science, so this is magic. But like the like his skin and the surface of the metal of the vents gets kind of slick, and in places maybe where it's too tight, like it expands, like it dents it out a little bit, stretches it. But
yeah, reduce his friction coefficient. It's when we get to those points, the artist finally has to kind of draw in like an effect on panel. Has to kind of
like
draw
little air whooshes,
and probably little Kirby, molecule things there.
Nice.
And crawling along through this vent, and you will get to one of these, look downs. Hang on 1 second. Hang on 1 minute. I thought that was someone I knew, but apparently not. They might have been just butt dialing for all I know. Anyway, I apologize. So you will get to one of those sort of only in comic books there would be like a event that you could all look down simultaneously down into the room. And the shot will open up, and this is an enormous lab. And you can see, I am just going to pause here while I let that go through.
Avada, do you have the head of the... Is that back at the base, or do you have it with you? Because I don't think we had a chance to go back to the base.
No, so it's in the van.
In the van, okay.
Yeah, it's just kind of wedged in there. I like it could fit in. Like, you just open both of the back doors, it just slips right in. It's definitely like...
Or someone could...
I think it's
someone could sit on it.
Oh my god. Oh. Wonder if we get like just an interlude panel of just like the head with like thinking, but with like circuitry text, and just like, I can't believe that this is who killed me, or whatever.
Surprised robot is surprised. You will see down below that there, there's all kinds of devices. It's a huge tech lab. But you will see that on one end of this massive, 40-foot tall lab building with all kinds of bizarre, the room is huge. There's a big, weirdly designed structure on one end with kind of a circle where you can see there's energy crackling in it. The circle is probably about 10 feet tall. There's a rampway coming down from it. And you will see that there is a table, and you can see what is clearly the other murder bot laying on it. And I put a picture of it in the thing. It is laid out, and it's been strapped down, and it's clearly, how do I put this, been like operated on. And you will see
he's on the Giants.
pouring out from the gate are these figures with sort of flight packs and weapons, and they're probably a good, at this point, dozen of them. There's a scientist who's working some kind of console there, and you can see that there is a figure in an armored suit, and they have looks like hashtag sort of secured and bound kind of restraint devices. You, of course, my good friend Offering, will recognize what those people are. That is a phalanx of butcher priests that are coming out of that gate right now. And as you're kind of watching, you will see the door come open, and you will see this black and green figure with claws, and you can see that it has a Dorabot under its arm.
Oh
dear.
So, Avada.
I start streaming immediately.
Okay.
Drone is up, camera is firing.
Okay.
First thing. And I just like, it's just me looking at the camera and then the camera showing everything. And then me looking at the camera and then the camera showing like the team.
What do you think you want to do here, Whippet?
Well, I just dive right in and attack because I need to work out some frustrations and stuff.
Okay. So you're just gonna pop this vent and drop down in, and who do you want to attack? Do you want to attack the armored guy?
I thought we were already in there. No, we just stuff, huh?
Yeah, this is what you see down there.
Oh,
so
well, they're about to get away. It looks like they're just about to make a getaway, right? Because they've already got.
Well, it looks like they're summoning in more of these butcher priests.
Oh well, we gotta cut them off before they establish their foothold. Yeah,
Okay.
we got cut off their. Is there there's a port? You said there was a crackling portal, right?
So there's a crackling portal they're coming out of, and there's clearly a scientist that's working some kind of panel there.
Ah, that panel. That sounds like a good target. Because I want to shut down this portal before they establish a beachhead.
Okay. So how do you want to do that? Is this directly engage a threat where you're going to attack the scientist, or is it that you're unleashing your powers to destroy the panel, or what? How would you describe that?
Yeah, I definitely want to destroy the panel. So I guess that'll be like basically I just take both my whips and execute a maneuver where as soon as that crack, when they make that crack, that unleashes a burst of energy to go with the sonic, maybe the whips like amplify that sonic crack that sounds off whenever she cracks her whips, and that's what causes the concussive force that will hopefully destroy the panel.
So I like it. You kind of rappel down, firing the whips off as you do that. You get your +1 forward.
Ah, yes.
So go ahead and roll your freak.
Okay. Ooh, this is for freak thing? Okay.
Yeah, that's unleash your powers.
Ah, right. All right. Well, I get a +1 at least. Let's see what happens. 10.
10. So the scientist is doing that, and suddenly you rappel down, and there's a crack, and that panel explodes. The scientist is thrown backwards, and you will see that that thing, the sort of gate, kind of whoop, and like the last two butcher priests that are coming in, kind of get sucked back, even as it goes. But there's still a good dozen of them in here, as well as these two supervillains. And it's at that point that the armored guy, Voltaic, kind of looks up, and Rampage kind of hugs the Dorabot tighter and kind of moves off to the side. So Minotaur.
Yeah. I feel like something similar to this happened the last time. Well, I guess this is the plan. So I'm just gonna like jump down through the vent.
Okay.
And who? I mean, I guess. Oh man. Okay. So Rampage is there with a doorbot. I think I have to. I think I have to confront Rampage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like we maybe have some different purposes on the table for the fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could be.
I'm going to come
could
back
be.
to you in a second. Let me ask, Whippet, do you have an influence over everyone in the group?
Is that still the case?
No. You no longer have influence over me, I believe.
Yeah. Right. Yes. Only Avada and Minotaur, not the offering.
Does anyone mistrust Whippet or mistrust the team?
Can that include Whippet mistrusting herself?
Yes.
The self-doubt count.
In that case. I'm sorry. Yeah, she Whippet definitely mistrusts herself at this point because she's still questioning her place.
And we started with one team. I gave you two, and we're going to take one away.
Oh,
So you have two team right now in the team pool.
Okay.
Okay. So Minotaur, describe to me how you confront Rampage.
So yeah, I mean, I crash on the ground, and I think I'm just gonna like. He was sort of going off to the side, right? Sort of hanging on to a doorbot. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like run up in front of him and like, be like, well, what are you doing here with a doorbot? Like, we had a deal.
And Rampage says very loudly, "Don't worry. I'll give you the information you want for having handed over a Dorabot to me."
Hey, Minotaur, what the fuck?
Okay.
This is not. That's not how it happened. This is not what it looks like.
I don't believe that.
And let me cut is that you hear those words and you kind of standing there in front of Rampage, who's there. You can't tell whether Rampage is grinning or not. It's difficult to tell with her visage. Let's cut to. I want to know what. Geez, I'm so bad with names these days. Offering. What do you do?
So, like, I think there's a split second when, like, I look over the edge and I see the butcher priests, and like my instinct is I'm halfway back up the pipe.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that like at first, and I think maybe as I'm going back to like I can't face these people. These people, like, they're going to bring me back to my death, and I'm not ready for that. I think at the same moment, I think sort of as I'm almost all the way out, as this other action has been going on, I hear Rampage call out Minotaur, and I turn around and go.
Okay. So what do you want to do? Turn around, come back.
So I think I see that Rampage is distracted by Minotaur, and the Adorabot is there, and I'm gonna try to snatch. I'm gonna try to telekinetically snatch the Adorabot out from his arms and pull it up into the vent shaft with me.
Okay, so now here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's defend, trying to protect a Doorbot from the threat, or do you think you want to consider that unleash your powers?
I think defend. I mean,
okay.
I'm not sure.
It's a harder roll, but I think that makes more sense in the move. But I wanted to check in with you before I did that.
I was thinking unleash, but when you suggested defend, I think that fits that will push the fiction forward more effectively.
Let's have you roll superior.
Okay. That's my superior is very bad. That is, I do not think of myself as superior. It's an issue.
But you could roll well.
What?
You could roll well.
I could. I did not roll well. I have a 4.
Okay. So you will go to grab at that Adorabot. You know, you stretch out your control, and as you do that, a blast will ring out from another part of the room, and you will see that scientist has gotten up, and he has some sort of rod in his hand, and he is transforming. And you will see his clothes shift and his appearance shift. And I put a picture there in the NPC thing, and you will recognize Malivore, one of the lieutenants of your foe. One of the 5 Hesiarchs.
Malivore,
leaders of the Butcher Priests.
I'm terrified.
Okay, and he's blasted with that and shattered your telekinesis.
I assume I'm going to tick my doom track on that one. That's almost like very explicit. I overextended myself, and then now they know I'm here.
That's perfect. Well, so we revealed an enemy. You've darked your doom track. I don't think you have to mark a condition.
Okay.
But I think that's a good enough move off of that. So Avada.
So she's already potentially lost one friend, and she doesn't really want to be responsible for killing the other. So she's already responsible maybe for the doom of one. So I think she's going to go with the easiest thing and attack the flying monkeys.
Okay. So letting loose into the Butcher Priests?
Yeah, I think it's... God, I saw it in some series a long time ago where somebody could do like energy blasts, and they would fire like all of their energy from one hand and would push them back. So they'd use like a second one to stabilize, but like it was a tiny one on like the right.
Okay. So you're kind of flying down and letting loose into them. Let's have you roll directly engage a threat.
But I get to roll with superior now.
Oh, okay.
So that's a +1 difference.
Yes.
So it's +2 instead. Oh, hey, guess who's really good at hurting things?
Is that you? What'd you get?
Me. I got a 13.
Okay. So you will smash into them, and they scatter from those blasts, go flying in different directions, and several of them you can see their suits are venting, like the heat that you fired off is overloaded, and they're leaking coolant or whatever. And you will see them, the ones that are sort of still standing will form up in a special formation and move to engage you. So that's essentially their villain move, is they form a special formation and come at you like a swarm of locusts. Let's come back to, and so I guess actually we should look at the pick 2 there.
Yeah, I'm resisting or avoiding their blows.
Okay.
That makes sense. And God, listen, it would be really good to be helpful to everyone, but also I kind of want to impress the opposition or frighten the opposition, not surprise them.
Okay.
But I want to do one of those two, and this is all while I have like the camera getting the perfect shot.
Sure. So while they are moving to engage you, they are not like swarming at you. They are circling you more cautiously in this formation. So their threat, they are more checking out because they're not sure what you're capable of. You freakish human, from a strange land who possesses some sort of energy powers. Does that seem cool?
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's come back to Whippet. So Whippet, we've got Voltaic there, has hashtag. We've got Rampage there, has a Doorbot. We've got some sort of weird priest warrior there, but these butcher priests have been kind of thrown every which way.
Mm-hmm. I would like to now the tech priest guy. That's the one with the power rod, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd like to try to whip that power rod right out of his hands.
Okay. Do we think that you're engaging the threat there, or are you trying to change up the situation? What do you want to? How do you want to call that?
Ooh, that's a good question. Change up the situation. I think that's. Yeah, that might be. I don't like rolling with my freak, but that is kind of I am trying to reshape the environment,
Okay,
as it were. So I guess that sounds like Unleash Your Powers thing again.
Let's have you roll freak.
All right, get my freak on. Oh, I'm pretty freaky. Oh, I don't have the +1 bonus anymore. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so I've got a 9.
Okay,
I could spend could I spend a team point to kick that up to a 10?
Someone could assist you.
Oh, I see. Although I wonder if we should save our team points for fail to avoid failing.
It's up to you.
Well, let's see. What's the difference between a 9 and a 10 when I'm unleashing the powers?
On a 7 and 9, mark a condition, or the GM will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Ooh, I definitely don't want to mark. I've got too many conditions as it is.
Okay,
it's marked. So
I'll just a 9 will mean that your whip goes out, grabs onto this, and kind of throws the eye of power across the room, and you will see that Malivore will go rushing after it. That seem fair?
Do you want me to help you out?
That'll be wonderful.
So I think what I do is I see that Whippet is engaging with Malivore, and like as she like pulls the staff. Is that what it is? The scepter? What are we calling it?
It's the Eye of Power.
The Eye of Power. So as she pulls the Eye of Power away from him, I drop one of my psychic projection walls to keep him from running after it.
Okay. So
that way, and maybe that gives her time to have a more controlled way of getting the eye somewhere that he won't be able to get at it.
Let's say that you get control of it, Whippet. You get it. So you have the eye. I've taken away from Malivore. I will remove one of his villain moves, and he is supremely upset. Hasn't marked a condition, so I'm not going to mark one of his other villain moves. But yeah, it turns to you. Your ears will certainly burn, offering as this priest lets out a series of native curses that no one else can understand except for you. So Minotaur.
Yeah. I think seeing Rampage there, basically holding a Doorbot hostage, really freaks me out. Maybe there's even a panel where I look at them, and instead of a Doorbot's face, I see my little brother's face there.
Oh, nice.
And then I sort of turn to engage Rampage in this we lock eyes. I'm there is no deal anymore. This is not a negotiation. You hand over a Doorbot, or what I did to that fridge back in the junkyard is going to look like nothing compared to what I'm going to do to you. And basically, I'm trying to engage my be the monster move.
Oh, I like that.
To frighten and intimidate Rampage. I think I should probably roll before I describe any more about.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so let's give it a shot. Oh, fuck me. Sorry.
That's beautiful.
So
I rolled a 2 plus 2 is 4. So wow, that went badly. Okay, so on a miss, they react with violence, hatred, paranoia, and you suffer the brunt of it. Awesome.
So he goes, well, if you feel that way, you're never going to find out who did that to you. And you know what? I'll need the hard drive from this thing. And he swings a Dorabot and hits you with him.
Oh,
and smashes you with that. And the Dorabot bends as he hits you because you are super tough and he is super strong. So you need to mark a condition.
Yeah, okay. What condition do you think?
I think guilty.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And he sort of Rampage swings back with a Dorabot, who you see little sparks coming off of him right now.
Oh no, God.
And let's cut from there over to offering.
Okay, so I was raised like in the temple by the priesthood, like as from whenever it was from. I was 11, for 5 or 6 years.
Right.
And
before you given to an adoptive family.
I think it was the other way around.
Oh, was it?
Okay. They took me from my family, and they were like, "We're going to train you in your powers," and then they were going to sacrifice you once my powers were at sufficient peak to do that.
There's Zenith.
Right. There we go. And so they. So I think there may be like one of the Hesiarchs that I'm even like positively, like I have some positive emotions for because they were sort of parental. But Malivore, with the Eye of Power, was the disciplinarian, and like pushed me hard in training and punished me when I stepped out of line. And I am terrified of Malivore, but taking the Eye of Power from him has like charged me up, and I think I'm still up there in the vents, and I think I'm just gonna drop and manifest as he's sort of like still stumbling back from that running into the wall. I'm gonna try to just like, I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm just gonna try and drive one of those construct sacrificial knives right into him.
Oh, so you are directly engaging a threat, or are you activating one of your Doom Track powers?
I am directly engaging a threat. I do not have a Doom Track power that would be useful there, unfortunately.
Okay, let's have you roll danger.
Yep. My danger's pretty okay. 7, 9.
9. So if somebody helps you, they could push that up to a 10?
We have one more team, right?
And actually, because we made a mistake on that earlier roll, I don't want to roll back on that, but I'm going to put an extra 2 team in the team pool for you guys.
Thank you. That's helpful.
That seems also, like a reasonable trade-off.
Yeah, and the consequences of that fail were just too awesome not to.
Exactly. I don't want to retcon that.
Not to run with that.
Sure. Given that it's Whippet who took the eye in the first place, I'd be happy to return the favor and give you the assist. For whatever you need to bump that up, or do you want to just keep it? Or do you want to just keep it as is?
I mean, I think your help would actually be all. Like, I think that I like the idea of us helping each other to try and overcome. And we have the team, so why not?
Okay.
So how do you help?
Oh well, I don't. How much of the backstory that you just revealed has been known to the rest of your team, or is that just something?
0. The only person who knows anything really about my past, aside from that I'm running away from a strange place, is Minotaur, who has heard the whole story. Not understanding what Malivore exactly means to you. The fact that I know this, you and the eye came from the same place, I'm gonna guess that you'll know more to do with it than I would.
So maybe I could just like whip it over to you, literally whip it over to you.
Okay, sure.
You can take the eye.
Sure. I think what happens is like I catch it psychokinetically, right? I don't catch it with my hand, but I have it with my mind. And I draw on its power because it's powered by the same power that powers me, right?
Right.
That's eventually going to go for the heart engines. So like I draw on its power, and what I'd like to do is so I get to pick 2 on a success. So I'm going to take something from them.
Okay.
What I'd like to take from them is I have drawn all of the power out of the eye.
Perfect.
He can't get it back now. It's dead.
Okay.
And number 2, I think I'm going to resist or avoid his blows. I don't want to take any damage.
Smash into him, kind of drive. He cracks back in that wall, bends the wall from the psychic construct, kind of driving into him. And you can see he shakes and he is furious and he screams out, "Voltaic, kill the girl!" Ooh. And you hear, "Yeah, boss."
Wait, is that me?
And no, you see that guy in the armored suit scoop up hashtag.
Oh, right.
No. I was too
let us
distracted
come
by robots. Oh, no.
Avada, these butcher priests are circling you, but you will see this villain pick up hashtag and essentially put his big metal hands on her head, and it looks like he's going to twist it like a 2-liter.
Yeah, I heard a lot of these robots. I'm not worried about them. I am worried about the fragility of a hacker's head. That's where you could say their hard drive is. And I am where normally I would be doing like maybe a pinpoint blast. I'm actually just going to kind of cannonball myself towards the dude with the hope of hurting him, of hurting Voltaic, and also saving my friend.
Okay. So does this sound like directly engage, or are we doing defend here?
I think I want to defend.
Okay.
Actually.
Then let's have you roll savior.
Also 2, just different effects. All right. That's a 10. I don't have to worry about making bad decisions.
Yes. So describe to me what that looks like. What happens there?
Voltaic like has her held up. He's like focusing on it, and then you just see like a little blur, kind of like at the corner of the panel, and then you just see a side panel of me just crashing in, like doing like essentially a flying shoulder bash into him, and just like hashtag just slowly falling down, but
kind of crashes down to the ground, and you and Voltaic are kind of fallen there in the corner, and he doesn't get a chance to react to that, but you're over with him, and because you had put them sort of at a disadvantage last time, you spent that time to frighten them. The butcher priest didn't get like a shot on you, but they are following you now. Okay, so you've got a couple of threats, in your vicinity for your next action. Let's come back to Whip It.
I'm also just going to take influence over hashtag.
That seems like a good call. Whip It.
Right. So I've handed off the eye, and now,
Rampage is beating Minotaur with Dorabot. There's this priest over here. There's Voltaic and these butcher priests. Looks like they're closing in, on Avada.
Oh, right. Avada.
I saw a dude beat another dude with another dude.
Yeah, I think since Avada's the most outnumbered, I've better.
Oh, I'm fine. I'm DPS. I'm AoE DPS. Don't worry about me. I fight the numbers.
She took the tank archetype from City Heroes. It's okay. Oh, it's all good.
just like a wizard and stuff and D&D.
What do you want to do then?
Yeah, Well, I'll actually no, I think I'm going to stay focused on
Malivore?
yeah, Malivore. I think I'll
Okay.
just try to do a simple whip attack until I think of something more clever. But for now, yeah, I think I want to continue helping out offering here.
Sort of acrobaticking over, doing the power whips on this guy. Let's have you roll danger.
Okay. Oh, that's not good. That's going to be a that's going to be a 3. That's a failure.
All right. So as you go to do that, it's kind of pushing the construct, and he pushes upwards, and as your whips come in, he grabs them, and he will
only fair.
swing them, and he will send you flying into Offering and kind of break Offering's attack on him, and knock the both of you over, and I think essentially gets himself free and steadied is going to be essentially the hard move that I'm going to do on that. Is that you see him kind of power up, like he concentrates and the suit expands and shifts, and you see more of the sort of priestly armor appearing on him.
Do I know what like kind of attack that portends?
Normally it portends kind of a wide-ranging psychic blast.
Lovely.
Used to put down rioters. Like in the food riots of '73, when you were there. So that's when he last used it. So yeah, he's powering up on that Minotaur.
Yeah. So just to be clear, so a Doorbot is now like lying on the ground, like broken and sparking, or
no, still in Rampage's hands.
Oh my god. He's just gonna use poor Doorbot as a cudgel. This is terrible.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, I mean I have to I'm going to just engage Rampage to I mean, yes, my purpose is it's like a defend, I guess, the defend move to
so you could either do defend, or if you want to change the environment, I could see it as unleash your powers if you described how that worked. I'm good with either of those. What do you think this is?
I feel like I'm going to, I guess I imagine it's sort of like that I move towards Rampage. Maybe he tries to like bludgeon me again with poor little Doorbot, and then like I'm just gonna like try to grab like his wrist and like grab his wrist and maybe just like squeeze the crap out of it to force him to drop Doorbot.
Let's do that.
So how would you translate that?
I'm gonna do this with unleash your powers. Actually, no.
Okay.
I do think this is defend, but
okay.
Your move that you took for this session, I think, is triggered based on that guilty, right? You get a +1 against him because he caused that
Rampage for causing that condition.
Yeah, so you get that +1 ongoing.
Sweet. All right, I shall roll, and we will see. Here we go. So that's a natural 5. But plus freak, I think.
For defend, it's savior.
Oh darn! Okay, not good. So that's a 0. +1 is only a 6. Did not go well. If only someone could help me.
Anyone in position to assist?
Am I nearby?
Well, you're kind of pinned between Voltaic and these butcher priests, so I think you are out of position on that.
Now, are we out of position too, since we're up against Malivore?
You two are less engaged because he threw you across and away. So I would be, if you want to spend the team in the fiction, one of you. I just have to know how you're doing it.
Well, I've got the good thing about having whips is it gives you a lot of gives you extended reach, right? So yeah, maybe while as I'm recovering my my footing from getting thrown into offering, which which I assume would be a little awkward since he's all he's all hot and heavy for the smoochies.
Right.
I think what I'll do is I can just give a good whip it over and how I'm trying to figure out how. Can you refresh my memory? It was what Minotaur was attempting to do when you rode the 6 or generated the 6 total.
Grab it onto the arm, right?
Oh, yeah. I was thinking just grabbing his arm.
Sure, I can certainly wrap around. I'll just latch onto the same arm, and maybe we can both try to pin him down. If that's something that can be done.
Yeah, I mean, if you could send some like energy, perhaps like through your whip to like try to shock or jolt him.
Oh yeah,
that would be helpful.
I could totally do that.
So I think that will you kind of grab the arm, whip it, wraps the electro whip around, kind of shocks Voltaic, and that will drop a Dorabot, and you get to choose one. You can defend. You get to add a team to the pool, take influence over someone you protect, or clear a condition.
I think I'm going to add a team to the pool. Yeah, because we're working together. So I feel like our team camaraderie has been upped, and I'm still feeling guilty, so I don't want to clear a condition.
And we're burning through the team points like crazy right now.
Yeah. Now the 7 and 9 problem is expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation. Which would you like?
Sorry, I'm choosing like a cost, retribution, or judgment. Is that
under defend? You can expose yourself to the 7 and 9. It costs you. You're going to expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation.
Okay. Myself to danger because I need to clear my guilty anyway.
Okay. So go ahead and roll. Take a powerful blow.
Okay. Boom, boom. I got a. This is bad. An extra 7.
A 7. So on a 7 to 9. Take a look at that. You actually want the low number, so you're in good shape. So take a look at the take powerful blow options under the big moves and see what you think.
Lash out verbally, provoke a teammate to foolhardy action, give ground. I think I'm going to struggle past the pain, and I'm going to mark 2 more conditions.
Ooh, wicked, wicked! And it's a good move. You take some of the ability for me to throw those moves at you. So I think that's a good choice in some ways. Offering, so Whip It and Minotaur have kind of got a Dorabot out of Rampage's hands. Rampage is still there. We've still got from Rampage's hands. We've got Voltaic and the Butcher Priests on Avada. And of course we still have Malivore. What do you want to do, Offering?
So I think I see, tell me if this is a legit defense, because I see Malivore like all charged up and ready to go. And like, I think he's gonna send a sweeping blast out to basically hit at least me and Whip It.
Mm-hmm.
If not everybody. So what I would like to do is slam. You know what this is? Here's what this is. This is Unleash. I think. All right.
Okay. I'm good with Unleash or Defend.
Yeah. So I think what this is I think what I'm going to try and do is enclose him within like a psychokinetic prison. right? Just like slam down the a cylinder. I probably won't be able to hold it forever, but just like to keep the blast contained when it goes off.
Okay, let's have you roll Unleash Your Powers.
That's freak, right? That is freak. 8 + 1 is 9.
That is a 9. So mark a condition, or it is not going to hold very long.
I'm going to mark a condition.
Okay.
I'm going to be angry.
Okay, so I imagine that this is you kind of holding. We see the picture of you, the corona, the energy around you, and we see Malavor pushing back with his energies and that field kind of pushing against it, but you're concentrating on this. I see that you have grown stronger.
I say back to him again in our language. I say, you made me brittle, but strong, but breakable if you put pressure in the right places. Getting away, let me build up strength in the places you made me weak.
You will still bend your knee before me. And let me cut to Avada. Avada, you've got a bunch of threats right by you.
Okay, so she's standing over hashtag, and she's thinking of one of the few songs of Dylan's that she enjoys. And she starts to yell, love. Wait, is it love? She yells, love is a burning thing. And she starts to create like flame around her and to create like a circle to kind of explode at everything near her.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, and she's just trying to hit, I think, both of the groups. Like, she's trying to hit Voltaic and the other things, and this could go very badly because, you know, when you make a ring of fire, the flames just go higher.
Yeah. So I think this is directly engage a threat, and I think if you want to hit both of them, that'll be a sort of, you'll have to take that as the second group as an additional pick on the 10+ if you do that.
Yeah. All right, and then because I've got the thing going, it's +2. Oh boy, let's see how this roll goes. So that's a 9. We have 2 team in the pool.
Yes, you do. You could use it selfishly.
Yeah, I really want to use it selfishly. What is the word? Not what's the worst thing that could happen, but what's a selfish thing she could do with this?
Like knock some of the others off balance, I suspect, while they're doing that. Does that seem?
Oh, I know, because I'm into tragedy. She's singing that to impress Dylan, but I think the flame is just completely to his back, and it catches him by surprise.
Okay. So when you do that, we take a team out of the team pool, and you have to shift your labels.
Yeah, I'm gonna shift. Let's see. Let's go. We'll have to go superior to 3, and let's go. Oh wait, and then savior down to 1.
Okay.
And the 2 I'll pick are again resist or avoid, because like she's trying to protect the area where she and hashtag are, and I'll take the other one as the damage both.
Okay. So that blast will take out the last of these butcher priests. Like their systems overheat and they crash to the ground from that. But you will see that Voltaic is still up and moving, and he kind of takes that hit, but you see him jam his hand into the floor, pulls up some cables, and almost like you, he creates this electrical storm around him.
Oh, dude, copying?
Yeah, and there's this sort of electrical vortex that is moving to engage and collide with you. Let's come back to Whippet.
Yes. So, what can you remind me what the status is with Malivore? Is he still trapped
He's held in a psychic construct created by Offering.
Okay, and the construct's holding pretty fast.
It's gonna start going down soon, but not immediately.
Oh, okay. Actually, here's what I kind of want to do. I kind of want, if Malivore is so focused on just pouring all his power to break down the shields, it'd be kind of I don't know if I can communicate this to Offering on the fly, but you know how like when someone's pushing on you, you're pushing back, and then suddenly you just like stop pushing, and the person just falls forward.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wondering if we could kind of trick Malivore in the same way, except when since he's so intent on breaking the shield, if the shield suddenly drop, can we maneuver out? There's some way to maneuver or focus him so he ends up blasting Voltaic instead of like us. I'm trying to figure out like what's the best way to translate that. Like,
I don't know. I mean,
like maybe
I love that idea. I love it. I just
like Offering. Do you think it could like form just like an opening, just like an opening that would like unleash just enough of that force to hit Voltaic? Is that something that?
Yeah, it could take it will take some fierce concentration, but I can do it.
All right, I'll watch your back in the meantime.
I think you're planning and you're using your skill to kind of assist. Does it sound to me like you're supporting him?
Yeah, since I'm coming up with the idea, sure.
Then let's have you roll a support action with your mundane.
Okay, I think supporting. Okay, I'm not great at supporting because I'm still angry, but I'm gonna give it a good roll, hopefully. And that's mundane, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see what happens here. I think my mundane's still at 0, so I'm rolling at a -2. But let's see what happens. All right. So I generated a 5 total. It's not great.
All right. So you're not going to assist in that. I don't want to undercut that action. So I think that as you're doing that, you've got like the sensors and things right there, like that like allow you to read the room, right?
That's right.
Boop, your mom pops up. I need you to report in. Where are you right now? You're not answering your call, and like all you can see right now is your mom, and her face is right there, going, report in.
Right. So, well, I guess I'm dealing with that while
yes,
Offering's doing his thing.
Okay, Minotaur.
Right.
Muted. Still muted, Minotaur.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, okay. So I was able to, well, with the help of Whippet, like, so Adorbot's like so on the ground now.
Is out of immediate danger, but Rampage is there.
Right. So I think I still have like his hand or his wrist like in one of my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm not going to let go.
Okay.
I'm going to like actually like, well, I sort of envision like I'm just going to like maybe like try to grab his other arm, and I'm just going to like pull myself up close to him, and I'm going to like try to like headbutt him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're directly engaging?
Yes, I am.
Let's have you roll danger.
That's more like it.
What'd you get?
So that's an 11 plus my danger of a 3 is 14, plus 1 will be 15.
That's crazy high.
Does that
Yeah,
make
I mean,
it
I'm just like,
splash page?
Yeah,
Right.
it's probably like
oh yeah.
so describe to me what happens. Rampage is obviously going to mark a condition off of that, but tell me what happens there.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm, originally I thought I was going to be able to relieve myself from like the guilt by, or sort of taking a hit earlier, but I'm still just filled with. I like sort of remarked the guilt. I'm still filled with the guilt and anger. So I'm just going to grab both of his wrists, pull him close, and like the veins in my neck are like bulging out, and then just like this massive impact between like my head and like the front of his face, and like I imagine like those impact sort of beams coming out from the point of contact.
And we'll kind of fly back, just absolutely the wall gives, girs, like things come crashing down, goes through machinery, stunned as you kind of follow up. Rampage is pulling himself up, and he says, they have the means to turn me back. I would have given you the info. If you'd done this, I would have told you. I wouldn't want anybody to be like this, but now you're going to stay like that forever, dog.
Ooh.
And kind of pulling himself up, but clearly shaken, like doesn't want to admit it, but you can see where there are more like cracks in the sort of black skin armor of this thing. Let me come to offering.
Yeah, so I think at this...
Pushing on that, pressing.
Right, so I think what I want to do is just like I'm holding it together, and then what I would like to do to see is in one quick action, like unfortunately we couldn't with its plan, it's sort of been wiped out of my mind by the pressure and the anger. Right, and I just like I'm remembering the years of abuse that I suffered from this guy, and and I think what I want to do is try to just drop the force field and super speed forward and stab him with that knife again. Give it another shot.
Now let me ask you this. There are a couple of options that you have here. This is a foe who tormented you as a youngster. One of the things you could certainly do is you could mark a doom sign. There are many options there.
Are there?
Yeah.
I thought my only options were. I thought I only have the one. Doom.
No, each time you do a doom sign, you cross one off.
Oh, I thought I had to fill my doom track to add another one. Thought that was how that worked.
I would say that in this case, because you've been running it through, it's a short term. I think I would have no problem if you wanted to consider that doom track filled.
Great, I will do that. And that sounds awesome. Let me look at my possible doom signs.
Okay, just because I want to see it on the table.
I'm 100% for that.
He's supposed to already have a doom sign to start off with.
Yeah. I did have one I was using, but it was the wrong one. Whatever. We can talk about that at a different time.
Yeah.
I think what I'm gonna do. Oh, this is great. I just need the list of adult moves, but
I think you want wield your powers or overwhelm a vulnerable foe.
Yeah, I definitely want to overwhelm a vulnerable. I'm gonna use the doom sign to use an adult move. And that adult move will be the one you just said.
Okay. Let's have you roll that.
Well, let me look at. Can I just
wait?
Pull it
up.
Is
he vulnerable?
Yeah, he's all wrapped up in my.
Yeah. He spent the time getting it set.
Okay.
Okay.
Onward.
Roll plus danger. Okay.
Danger.
That's a 7 plus 2 is a 9.
Okay. So you have to choose 2 off that list.
Right.
Take a powerful blow in turn, hurt your foe more than you intended, cause serious collateral damage.
Right. Well, I don't think I could possibly hurt my foe more than I intended. I think I want to hurt him bad.
Okay.
But I'm going to take a powerful blow, and I think what's going to happen is, tell me if you like this. The anti-riot blast is going to come.
Okay.
It's going to get released, and that will be a powerful blow that hits me, and it will cause some kind of serious collateral damage.
Absolutely. Let's have you roll. Take a powerful blow. So you roll with a +2.
Yep. Although I did hurt someone.
Those don't get cleared until
4
after
plus,
this.
yeah. 4 plus 2 is 6.
Oh.
That worked out great.
So the good news is you get to mark potential as well.
Excellent.
So you do that and kind of let go and kind of shape the energy as he hits you with that, and it blows out the back of the building. Your psychic construct's going to come forward and kind of funnel that psychic energy, kind of let it out behind him, and it will blow out the side of the building. Like the like for a couple floors, it blows and it crushes the next building, like shatters the side of it open. But the other thing is that the psychic wave will go out over the next several city blocks and knock everyone out in the next 2 blocks, and you'll hear cars and smashing and stuff, and car alarms going off and such, as everyone for a 2-block radius is knocked out by the force of that psychic wave. And he looks up at you, and his eyes are wide, like, and he says, "I only wanted to save our world." Ugh. And he'll tumble down to the street below because you've blown out that wall behind him. Crumpled down there. Avada.
Oh, buddy. So she's staring down Voltaic, who's building up an electric storm.
Yep.
She says, "Do you really want to keep doing this, buddy?" And she's like yelling, and she's like, "Do you want to keep doing this? Is this what you want?"
You trying to provoke them?
I just want to hear Voltaic say something of, "Do you want to keep fighting?" Just
Voltaic says, "I have my orders." And it kind of comes out in this mechanical robotic voice.
okay. And she mutters to herself, "I hope this works like it does on Avatar." Because, you know, if you're good enough with fire, that means you're good enough with lightning. And I think she's just going to try and, like, blast such a thin flame of fire that it kind of disrupts the lightning and hits Voltaic.
Okay.
Like, she's going for, like, blowtorch precision now instead of, you know, Nova.
That does still sound like we're directly engaging.
Yeah, that's all she's been doing today.
I know.
She just wants to hit things. Oh, hey, it's going to be a +3 now, so let's see how this goes.
Almost no chance that you could fail with a plus. So roll with your danger.
I did. That's
that's right. You got
7.
superior.
So I got a 10.
Okay.
Oh, buddy. So I think we see like the little beam of fire, and there actually is some electricity, and her eyes go wide when she realizes she can do it. She is on top of her game, and once again, she's going to resist or avoid their blows, and she is going to frighten voltaic.
Okay.
Because she doesn't want to keep fighting, and she's going to try and scare that sucker off.
So he will mark a condition as you kind of run that electrical blast, kind of grab onto that. And there is that moment where you see, I mean, there's no real physical thing, but the body language changes. Like, you've got control of the electricity where he should have had it. Like, suddenly, you know, that's not right. That's not how it should be. And you'll kind of let loose with that. And he will, like, grab all the energy that he can and releases that in a flash, even as he staggers back from your attack. And you'll hear the as he smashes through walls to get away. Whip it.
Mm-hmm.
Mom's calling.
Yeah. Okay. Well, are my whips still attached to? No, they're not attached to Voltaic anymore because he just took off.
Yeah.
Great. So I'll answer.
Okay. Where are you?
It's the Rook It's the Rook building.
Rook Technologies. You don't go to Rook Technologies.
Is this like a visual phone call sort of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, a little. Sorry, Mom. A little. Or sorry. No, she doesn't say Mom because she's secret identities. Sorry. It's a bit late for that. And by this point, she could see exactly where we are and what's going down.
And I think that you've got a choice here.
Okay.
Do you want to try and provoke her? Do you want to just shut down your comms?
Oh, I think the provoke sounds a lot more fun.
Okay. Actually, no. Actually, let me not provoke. Actually, I think what we have to do is, does she still have influence over you?
Well, she's an adult, so she has influence over us all, doesn't she?
Yeah, I didn't know if you had done a thing. So, I think that she is telling you need to leave the Rook building now. They're a dangerous threat. You are not prepared for that. So you want to try and reject her?
Yes, because we're there. The fight's already started. That horse is flown the coop.
Okay.
I just mixed a bunch of metaphors there.
That horse has flown the coop. I like it. We get that on panel. So go ahead and roll.
All right. Where's my screen? There's my screen. There's my dice, and there's reroll. Oh, hey! I rolled a 10.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what I'm at.
So on a hit,
okay.
You choose two of these three things. Clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down. Or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
-2 because of insecure.
That's right.
Thank you. So that's now an 8.
So it's just choose one then. Clear a condition or mark potential, shift a label, cancel their influence.
Well, I guess if I want to stay in the fight, I've got to cancel the influence, right?
Or you could clear condition or mark potential and just go into the fight, acting to prove them wrong. I'm just describing what your options are there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, let's do that one then, because I do need to clear some stuff.
Okay. What condition would you clear? What changes when you kind of come back, not listen to her?
I think the insecure is the one that is likely that makes sense to drop.
Perfect.
I'm like, yeah. So, whoops.
So we'll probably see the sort of a little bit of the montage, even as maybe some of those priests are kind of getting up to try and grab onto you, and you're knocking them down, even as you're ignoring your mom's words there. And she's going, whip it, whip it, whip it. Trying to get your attention, but you're not listening to her anymore. You're your own person. Minotaur.
Yeah. I feel like Rampage's words probably have gotten to me. And I think I'm just gonna reply like, you know what, you're right. Like, I'm always going to be a monster, and I'm just gonna do what a monster does, and like I think I'm just gonna like start to like stalk toward him, but like as I'm stalking toward him, like I'm just like whatever's like in arm's reach, like I'm just like smashing it, tossing it, like just like in the trash yard where I first encountered him, and I think I'm gonna like try to I'm just gonna rush him, tackle him, and like try to like catapult both of us like through a wall out the building.
So that sounds like unleash your powers. You're trying to kind of change the position, change the location, change the environment.
Yeah, I think so.
Roll with freak.
All right. And I got a 9 plus the 3 is 12 plus 1 is 13.
Yeah. So if you want, you can fling him away, or you can go with him and fling him away. Which would you prefer? I mean, you could get him out of here.
Probably
throw him through a couple of buildings.
Throw him through a couple of buildings. I guess I don't want to leave. It's tempting to go like do sort of like a sacrificial thing, but I don't want to leave
a Dorabot.
I mean, Dorabot's here, right? And there's a lot of danger. So yeah, no, that doesn't work. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna like, send him flying out the wall.
What does that look like? What does the throw look like?
I think I like grab him like by his two arms, and then like lift him up and actually like toss him over over my head. So he's going like a missile, like head first.
Yeah, it probably goes through a couple of different like antennas and satellite dish and things, and we'll just see him fly off into the distance there, and you'll hear good throw, even from the cracking of a Dorabot there on the ground.
Oh.
Offering, you just killed the Hesiarch, one of the 5. His body is laying down there in the street. The priests are laid out here, and the other bad guys are down. What do you do?
So, number one, I think I'm like feeling pretty powerful, like pretty good about myself. Like I was gonna run, and I came back and fought, and yeah, we destroyed an entire neighborhood. But this is Halcyon City. That's what happens. And like a Dorabot's doing okay. Like the danger's cleared up here, right?
Yes.
Right.
You guys have soundly defeated. Minotaur has thrown Rampage across the city. Avada has dealt with multiple foes, including Voltaic. Whippet has bits and pieces that she's torn off of various bad guys, and she's knocked some others down. And you blew a hole in the wall and killed this Hesiarch.
Right. So I think what I do, and the Dorabot's still on the ground, right?
Yes.
So I think I walk over to where a Dorabot's sitting. I like just drop down onto my butt, or lying, drop down onto my butt next to him.
Offering.
Yeah.
Offering.
Yeah. What's up, Adorabot? How you doing?
Will I be able to dance again?
We'll take you. We'll take you back to the sanctuary and see if we can't get you cleaned up. I sit down and I pull off my hood and like wipe some sweat off my forehead to drag a comb through that pompadour that somehow or another is still up.
Still up.
Even though the hood was flattening down, it just like pops up. Maybe there's even like a little poof when the hood comes off in the panel. It's a little, maybe like a chibi kind of anime thing, manga thing, and I say, I look around at the team and I say, what now?
Now I get grounded for the rest of my life.
I think we're going to stop here, take 5 minutes, and we're going to come back sort of still on that scene with you, and we'll talk about sort of the aftermath of that. Does that seem cool? We ran a little longer for the first half, but let's take a 5-minute break here.
Cool.
All right. So we take up slightly in the aftermath of that, and we can frame what you want. I assume the team has exited from Rook Industries with Adorabot and hashtag. I assume getting out of there so that you don't have to answer too many questions.
Mhm.
So we would take up sort of in the aftermath of that. And Avada, we kind of left off with you, and I saw you take a bite of something, so I wanted to call on you immediately. I'm like a waitress, okay?
You're the worst.
So what do we see with you in the sort of this aftermath moment here?
2 words.
2 words.
Vital carry. That's how she's got hashtag, and she's just like walking with everyone else, but just like also doing that. You can tell she's definitely like kind of sore, and it's not very comfortable for her. But she's determined to look cool when hashtag wakes up.
And hashtag will probably come to and kind of look and see you and look up and see the drone, and he's just like, oh. But you can tell that she is even more like she got picked up and thrown around. So she just kind of turns her head away, you know, and kind of admits defeat.
Hey, you gotta get those guest spots in.
Yeah.
No matter what.
What about you offering? How are you feeling in the aftermath of this?
So I'm going to say how I'm feeling, and then I'm going to ask a mechanical question related to it.
Absolutely.
So, I think I am like psyched and pumped up. I think that like I am, maybe let's take that back. Maybe I'm starting to come down a little bit from that like initial high.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm maybe getting a little squirrely. Like, okay, I took out one of the Hestiarchs, but there's 4 more, and of course there's the big bad himself. You know, and so like sure, now they know where. If they don't know right away, they're going to find out pretty soon where I am, and I have to like be getting myself ready for that, either to run or to fight. And I think I'm deciding whether or not I want to tell my story to everyone here. I haven't quite made up my mind, but like that's the and the mechanical question was whether by, and I'm still feeling guilty for what I did, whether by doing the damage I did and hurting my enemy, I clear angry.
Yeah, actually, I think so. Because you did. I mean, you didn't just hurt someone. You killed someone.
Yeah. But I'm still guilty, and maybe now I'm guilty for the murder as well as the.
But you know that Dargoth is going to know. And Minotaur, what about you? I assume you've got Adorabot.
Oh yeah, I'm cradling Adorabot, I think.
Hey, Minotaur.
Well, what's up, little buddy?
Will I be able to dance again?
I mean, I think offering sort of knows the tech that you're made out of, so
no one will bite on his dad joke, and he
yeah, come on,
he already said it once
before. Is that
what? But I think I don't think I'm angry anymore because I did get to throw Rampage like through a wall and
Oh yeah.
several other buildings. But I think I'm still feeling like quite guilty. Not, I mean, obviously what happened to a doorbot, not, you know, being upfront with my teammates about my, you know, interactions with Rampage. So yeah, I'm feeling a lot of shame.
And a doorbot says, "Thank you for coming and rescuing me."
Yeah. About that. dot dot dot. We'll come back to that.
Okay. And Whippet, what about you?
Well, Whippet's still angry at herself. Even at the second fight, she doesn't feel like she really
Oh my God, you did all the supporting actions that let people go up and do awesome stuff.
Yeah, well, it might need someone for to point that out to her, but for now she's still feeling like she didn't do her part, and now she's got to figure out what she's going to tell her mom. You know, she's got to pay that reckoning.
I actually think you should clear your insecure.
Oh, that, yeah, I dumped that when I faced off. I don't know why. The effects are still
it didn't register. That's okay. I just make sure that. Do we want to have a scene with the team and then maybe go to some epilogue? Do we want to have a chance to have a convo amongst the group here?
I think that sounds like a good wrap up plan.
Shall we bring you back to the base?
Sure.
Sure, okay. Sounds good.
With the doorbot?
Yeah. With the doorbot. The doorbot is, seated, on one of the chairs. He's got a little juice box of WD-40 that he's drinking, and just kind of watching. His head's at a slight tilt, but that doesn't seem to bother him. And it doesn't seem like it's going to take that much to actually repair him.
Oh, thank goodness.
And so I know that Minotaur and Offering and even Whippet have things they want to say. And there's that awkward silence. I imagine there's several panels of everyone seated around the table, and it's the same shot several times.
Oh my God.
So I actually think I'm like kind of brooding while this is going on, but not in the way, like, if you think about Minotaur at the beginning, the way he was brooding in a way that he was like, just don't get near me. I'm brooding in the way that, in that teenager way that says, like, please approach me and ask me what's wrong.
Were you like doing loud sighs and you're like, oh.
I think I'm like sitting with a scowl and a cup of tea. There's music playing in the background, and I'm just like kind of slurping my tea loudly and slamming it down on the table a little bit.
God.
Well, I think Whippet would maybe break the silence by saying, "Well, I don't know about you all, but that was my first alien invasion."
Yeah, I look at her and I'm like,
no pun intended. I mean, first interplanetary invasion.
I am an alien invasion with it.
Yeah. Whippet realizes what she said and then replaces that with interplanetary invasion.
I'm that too.
Oh my God.
I don't know. What can I say that won't be offensive?
I mean, with it, you just advocated for closed borders, so I don't know what we can say.
I advocated no such thing. Anyway, well, I mean, Offering, how are you doing? You knew that guy. It seemed like.
Yeah. And I look at them all and I say, that guy. He wasn't. I wouldn't say he was quite like a parent to me, but he was kind of like the angry principal in a boarding school story. The one that had, beat you for looking at him wrong.
That does sound like a parent, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
There was someone else who would beat you when you came home beat me when I came home afterwards. And I just sort of shake my head like mid-sentence and stop. Like I can't quite bring myself to open it up, I think.
Did anyone not beat you when you were a kid?
There were one or two people. I was raised in this kind of it was a temple by priests, high priests mostly. And there was that guy who was one of the angry disciplinarian ones. And there were others who fed me and clothed me and taught me things. And of course there was the high priest, who was a whole other story. I think like at that moment, like as I'm thinking about him, like the whole story spills out.
Okay.
More or less. It just
So
like
we get the montage of that on a couple of pages.
Right. I think what it is it's like it's a Jack Kirby 6-panel grid.
Oh my God.
Right. And like, first panel is being taken away from my parents. Second panel is being trained by is sort of like being pulled into the temple. Third and fourth panels, the middle of the grid are like me training in my powers. Maybe one's me getting beaten by Malivore. Was that his name? I can't remember his name anymore.
Malivore, yeah.
Malivore, and one is me being trained, and then the bottom left is the me lying on the altar, and bottom right is me escaping.
So that finally kind of comes out onto the table, and that's kind of a major moment for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is, I would say, definitely. First of all, it bumps my Doom track, just because talking about it bumps my Doom track, which doesn't super matter. But
yeah, I think Whippet just says, well, I guess Malvor just got what he was asking for then. And she's not sure if she's reading it correctly. That's a helpful or hurtful thing to say, but she's anger herself, so she's not taking the time to pierce the mask and try to get a sense of what would comfort you at this point. I don't know how you how do you react to that?
Right. So I think I just sort of like look at her quietly and say, "That's what I'm telling myself."
And I think mechanically, if we were going to go into it, we roll that into that sharing a moment of vulnerability and or weakness.
Yeah, that's a thing.
If we were in a long term, we would stop off to kind of check in on that. And I think Minotaur, do you want to? I don't know. Do you keep quiet about this, or do you talk about what happened?
Well, I think maybe after the exchange between Whippet and Offering, I think I want to pat Offering on the back and be like, look, you did what you had to do to protect your friends, which is more than I can say. I feel like I need to come clean with you guys. What Rampage said wasn't exactly true. I didn't hand a Doorbot over, but that's the W40 or whatever.
Yes.
Oh
but I thought about it. Rampage offered me a deal to turn me back to my old self before I was Minotaur, and I don't know, I just didn't want to be a freak anymore, and I thought I don't know, I didn't think you guys would understand, so I kept it to myself, and I ended up putting a Doorbot and the whole team at risk, and I don't expect you guys to forgive me, but I mean, all I can say is that I don't care about being a freak anymore, as long as I'm not a monster like Rampage.
Nice. And again, I think that would be, if we were in a long term, we would check that at that moment of vulnerability thing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the stuff on the table for the team. I don't know. Let's do a quick. I want to see. What's a panel or two we see from a future issue. Like let's do that as an epilogue bit here. Something significant. Let me start with you offering. What is a panel we see, or a sequence of panels we see from a future issue?
So I think it's two panels. I think the first panel is me playing chess with Annabelle, and having I put her, so me saying check and her smiling. And then the second panel is the four of us, and maybe a Dorobot also on the side as our mascot, playing training, or fighting in like this like Kirby-esque space with a woman of our race, of my alien species, at our side, who's like vaguely reminiscent of Annabelle. Her costume design is like the same silhouette as Annabelle's rags or whatever.
I like that. Minotaur, what about you? What's the panel or panels we see from you?
I like. I want to pick up on that training idea. Okay. I think maybe there's some panels of Minotaur with a Doorbot, and I think maybe like when you first look at the first couple panels, like it looks like maybe like a Minotaur is like almost like attacking like a Doorbot, but it's actually like a training move like that. So like I'm. Like how like Colossus like used to like throw Wolverine like at enemies.
I
think it's like yeah. I think it's like a move like that. So like I'm actually just like tossing a Doorbot at some
very surprised
made up target. Yeah, right.
I love that. That's great. Whippet, what about you? What's the couple of panels we see from a future issue with you?
Well, since this is the end of of our mini campaign, I think it'll be interesting if the panel depicts Whippet and Glowstick, and maybe maybe it's a Whippet giving Glowstick a full report on the capabilities and vulnerabilities of the other team members. And I don't know, and since this is a feature issue, you don't know if she's like turned, or if she's turned on her friends, or if she's been convinced that maybe they are wild cards, or maybe or what. But that might be what her feature glimpse would be.
Oh, nice. Super classic. And Avada, I want to give you last word. on these future panels?
Okay, so there's one panel, and it's her in hashtag sitting on a couch with popcorn watching Avatar. Not quite like Avatar, but you see the word bubbles, and it just says, "I must reclaim my honor as a prince." And then it has like at the bottom of that panel, instead of being like the full height, it's got like her eyes looking really determined, and then it's her kind of addressing the rest of the team, just saying, "Guess who's a star?" and pointing up, and you see like a lightning bolt striking her, and that's the panel it ends on. What is it's not Highlander. There's one iconic thing. It might be like it looks like the Thundercats pose where the lightning hits.
Right.
For some reason. That's what it ends with.
Awesome. Very nice. Thank you guys so much for being willing to play Masks with me. It's the first time I've really run it. I've run some hacks of it before, and I've played it, so I enjoyed having a chance to try this out. I would like to stop off and get some impressions from you, not necessarily workshopping, but I'd like to know what things you liked about the play, or about other people's play, or about things in the game, and what things you would have maybe wanted to see more of in the course of this, kind of focusing on what could be developed, or what do we need to see maybe more of. And I'm going to go in the same order I just did, if that's okay. I do want to say I really liked everybody's characters. I enjoyed them. I was uncertain how they were going to interact at that first session, but I really liked how it all came together. And I felt really good about that. And we pressed on some people pretty hard. So I enjoyed that. Jesse, what would you say? What do you want to point at?
So, like, the first thing I want to say is just that, like, I super enjoyed this whole mini campaign. My wife was just saying to me during the break, she's like, "It sounds like you have a really good time in these Thursday night games." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a lot of fun." Yeah, I think that, like, the one thing that got me is not something that we have this sort of a bug of the medium, which is just like we didn't have quite as much space to like get into some of the things, like a slightly longer session, or like more sessions, which is just not doable. But for like the amount of sort of space that we had, it was fantastic. I think that, like, especially this last, you were fantastic at like making sure that over the course of the time that we had, like, you hit on all of the major things that we had highlighted for you. So like and I felt like everyone just like bounced off each other, and that really well. Like, one particular example I wanna hit is Mike. Like, I wasn't sure after the first 3 sessions, like, how the stuff with your mother was gonna fit in so well. Like, it hadn't had a lot of screen time, and I wasn't sure. And then, like, you guys were able to pull that out and make that, like, just really great. I really enjoyed the back and forth, Larry, between me and you. Like, I felt like that we had, like, we were able to make that work, and it happened kind of by accident because of how we broke up in that first session. And like, that's a cool thing about games, how like these relationships emerge out of play. And Hannah, like, just like everything you did was great. Like the flavor of this unnamed superhero team still, like was like, you created through lines through all of it that was just like spot on. So yeah, everyone, it was so much fun to play with you.
Awesome. I'm glad you dug it. Larry, things you want to point to, things you would have wanted to see more of? What do you want to say?
Yeah, so obviously, just like really enjoyed all the sessions. First of all, yeah, I mean, you did a great job of like sort of managing the spotlight, um, uh, and yeah, I think like I don't, you have a really good knack at just sort of like juggling, like so many different things, and like the consequences from bad roles, all of that was like so cool. And so for me in particular, like introducing that sort of like subplot with Rampage, I really enjoyed like that bargain and like wrestling with the bargain. That was really good drama, I thought. Uh, Interestingly though, like I wonder, so the part where I felt I wasn't, so I think with offering, I was able to like get some like good interactions, but I was having a hard time trying to like connect with the other two characters. Like I had meant to like have some kind of maybe even sort of confrontational scene with like Avada, with like the constant broadcasting and like the idea of like me not, more like wanting to hide, feeling like I'm a freak. So that's like one thing that I kind of regret, like not.
I want to support that because I think that we did. Because of this 2.5 hours, we didn't have enough space. But that was something that was set up, and in that final scene, Avada set that up, but we didn't get to play it back where she heard the thing about the bargain and stuff, and we didn't get to call back to that. So that's a timing thing, and I wish I'd been able to push more on that. Yeah, but that's a really good observation.
Yeah. But I mean, everyone was just like, even if I wasn't like directly interacting, just like hearing the story unfold, I think everyone like really played their characters to the hilt, and yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Mike, anything you want to point to?
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything that's been said so far. I think, yeah, I've been rereading the old Teen Titans issues from the early '80s, and I feel like some of the same dynamic here, where we have like very different characters. I mean, the X-Men, they're often compared to the X-Men at the time, but the X-Men, they may have had different personalities, but they all had the same general background. Whereas all our characters had like widely different backgrounds, and they all got to influence the story, which I appreciated a lot. I liked, I just liked, Hannah, I just like enjoyed the whole levity that Avada brought, and never, jokester characters always, run the risk of being annoying, but Avada was always interesting and fun, and the whole social media thing just, added that a cool extra element to everything that was going on. It reminded us that the world was much bigger than what's going on in this adventure, which is always which I always enjoy in games. And Jesse, I really dug. I really appreciate that you always had your eye on the big picture as far as making sure everyone interacted with everyone. I'm really glad that Lil, I liked your solution to getting the offerings background into it by having his people be the source of not only the technology, but even having them be the big masterminds, but everything. I thought that worked out. I think that worked out really well. And Larry, I don't know what exactly it was, but I just enjoyed your whole vibe with how you handled Minotaur. Always interesting. You had fun things to say, and I just generally dug your approach to the gaming and the characters. And Lo, I agree with everything that everyone's said about how you've managed to juggle all the balls that went into this adventure and running this game. And I was thinking of what I think I would have liked to do differently. I think in hindsight, I would have been fun to play more with the influence rules, and that's something I could have done, and something I would keep focus a little more attention on in another situation like this, especially since Whippet was the one character who had influence over everyone. I was just reading over the rules just now, and I realized that's something that I could have really one move that that no one used that I think could have been really interesting was the when someone with influence over you tells you who you are and how the world works. I think that could have been really fun to play with, and it would have really shown how influence and peer pressure really works for like teenagers in general, and especially super powered ones. So that would be my one thing.
That's really good, because that's such a player side thing. It's very easy for me as a GM to forget that and not highlight that for the players. So I really appreciate you saying that. That tells me something I need to keep in my head.
Yeah, because the one thing that impresses me most about the math system is just how it codifies the idea of adolescent peer pressure. It's really baked into the rules in a good way, and the more you can take advantage of it, I think the better the game system would play out.
I think that's fair. Hannah, I want to give you a sort of last word. By the way, I do want to thank you. I think it was the end of session 1, you said, hey, we need to do more scenes where we kind of have more people together rather than solo things. And that was really good feedback. And I tried to, I don't know if I was completely successful about that, but I did try to do that later on. So I appreciated that feedback.
Meanwhile, everything I did was, I was like, hey, we should do more things together. And then I continued to do things on my own.
We're all in the same room. That counts.
Yeah, I love this system. But I think you did a really good job, Lowell, of like tying everything together and making sure we all like kind of not only played a part, but had a reason to be in there. I really enjoyed kind of the dynamics between everyone. If I went back, I would make I think slightly gloomier character to fit into this group. Like I really enjoyed this, but I definitely felt sometimes where I'm like, this doesn't seem like what Avada would do, so I won't. Or if Avada did anything here, it would seem disruptive, so I don't want to do that. So it's that balance. But I had a lot of fun with this, and I enjoyed people's dynamics. I think the whole thing about we got a lot in there for 7.5 hours of gameplay, somewhere around there, and that was a blast. And I mean, if it had went longer, we would have had more of those things. Definitely would have had a fight between Minotaur and Avada.
Yeah.
I think so.
I feel like we didn't bicker enough. That might be the vagaries of the time constraints, or the fact that a lot of us has just met each other for the first time. But yeah, super teens tend to fight a lot more.
I want to mention something I appreciate from the group as a whole this session, especially. You were using your own moves more. We were pushing on some other stuff. We saw a lot of different moves that we hadn't seen earlier on. Or at least, they were more spotlighted. So I appreciated that. And people were flexible about what moves they went with. So I thought that was good. Anyway, thank you guys so much for playing this. I dug it immensely. So I had a good time, and I'm glad I did this because I love superheroes. So
this was a lot of fun.
Thank you all so much. I am
definitely want to play this again sometime.
Yeah, I'm going to stop the broadcast.